Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back with another quilt. I think you're going to like this one. It's going to be very quick and easy. We are using 7 long quarters. A long quarter is when you go to a fabric store and you say, I'd like a 1/4 yard of this, and they cut, hopefully, a generous long quarter. A 1/4 yard is 9 inches. I cut mine that I sell 9.5 inches. So hopefully your store does the same. And if not, you can still make this quilt. Your quilt will come out a little bit shorter. Now I do have the pattern for this, and I also have, some written instructions. However, that is now a perk for my exclusive shoppers only. I was doing it on my blog, and there was a lot of interest, a lot of people going in and printing those. And then I asked if people would kindly support my efforts by becoming a $1 per month patron, and I did get some, but not nearly enough. So if there's not enough interest in that, then I'll just stop doing the printouts. But if you appreciate the printout and like that, it's just $1 per month inside Patreon. And you can go on in and print it. It doesn't get you into the fabric sales. That has to be the $5 per month level. But it will at least get you my patterns. All my $5 patrons and $5 YouTube members also get the pattern. All right, so let's just get started with this. For this one, you don't really need the pattern unless you just want it to follow along that way. I'm going to explain to you, but there will be some of my quilts that you're absolutely going to need the pattern. I have some cool designs coming out, and it's not something that I would easily be able to explain in a video. I do plan on having some kits for this. I think I can make 2 more exactly like this one that I'm going to make today, but very easy. This is going to be a 1-hour quilt top for sure. Even if you have to cut your own fabric, it's going to be very quick. So what we have to do is the top row and the bottom row are one solid piece. So we have to decide what we want on the top and the bottom. And then one gets cut in half and makes an appearance in 2 spots in the quilt. So we have to decide which one we want to have do that. So let me think for a second. I think I'm going to have the top and bottom be this blue and this tangerine color, I'm going to call it. So these, they're done. We're done. We've made 2 rows already. Put those aside. I think I'll cut this one in half. There's going to be 2 places where this shows. So let me do that right now. It's already 9.5 inches this way, and if you get them from me, they're rotary cut. They're ready to go. And I want 18.5 inches, and I want 2 strips. So I'm just putting it a little bit over my 18.5 inch line. I'm going to trim it right here on the 0 inch line. And then I'm going to trim it right here at 18.5. This is done. Putting that aside. We have a little bit of scrap here. And we have a stick. We like sticks. Now, let me get the other 4. So I just took the other 4 pieces and I stacked them. Now I'm going to trim here at the 0 line. And now I want it to be 33.5 inches. I'm doing a 33.5 inch cut. Now my mat isn't long enough, so what I'm just going to do is, and it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but I'm just going to put my finger like on the 23 inch mark, and I'm just going to slide it down to here. So that was 23. Do it a little bit longer. I'd rather have it too long and I can trim. And now I'm going to cut, so that was 23, 33.5. So I'm cutting right there on the 10.5. And we have some nice little scraps. So this is it for scraps, plus a couple of salvages we'll have, and a stick. All the cutting is done. We're ready to get started. These 4 strips that we cut to 33.5 inches, and if you have the pattern, you don't have to worry about all these measurements. I have that all spelled out for you guys in there. These 4 strips are going to be like touching in the center. We're doing C, D, E, and F. My top row is going to be blue, so I'm going to put the like aqua color at the bottom. So I'm, doing beige, pinkish, gray, and that. All right, I'm going to take these 2 and just move those aside. I'm going to sew these 2 together like this, right sides together, and going down here. I sewed those together and I pressed it. Now I am going to attach one of these pieces that we cut to 18.5, and I'm going to put that on the left side, like that, right there. I had a tiny bit to trim here, so I did, and you can do the same, just, trim, and we have this piece done. Now we're going to take E and F. This is my E. No, that's my F. This is my E. And we're going to sew those together this way. I'm going to sew right there. I would have loved to have just sewn this whole thing and tell you how long it took me in real time, but I sew one seam and then I go do something else for like a half an hour because I am multitasking today, every day. Let's just put it that way. I have this onto this, and now I need my other B piece, and this is the way I want the colors. This is going to go next to the tangerine. And so now the other B piece is going to go on the right side this time. And my lighting keeps changing because it keeps getting later in the day. All right, I finished this. Now this is going to be next to the bottom. My bottom strip goes here. So since I just worked on this one, let's finish the bottom first. Now I didn't trim the selvages or anything. I'm not going to bother to do that. I'm just going to, ooh, it's just making it. I'm going to just flip it like this, and I'm going to just start sewing. I'm just pulling, the selvage up like that, and then I'm going to sew down that edge. My mother's watching TV now. We can hear it. Okay, this is actually the bottom, but I just turned it. Now you can see my selvage is sticking out beyond, so I'm just going to trim that off. And I will turn it and do the other side too. Just like that. Cool beans. So now we have the entire bottom done. I'm going to do the same thing with the top. I have my blue strip, and I'm just going to sew it on, and then I will trim my selvages. I'm back. I keep leaving. I have my whole top piece done, my whole bottom piece done. Now we just need to connect the 2 right here. So I'm just going to flip it, sew, and we'll be done. It is done, except you can't see it. I have to wait until tomorrow, so it's daylight, and I can take pictures on the bed upstairs. Luckily for you, you only have to wait a split second. Before I show you the quilt top, we have a change of plans. When I designed this quilt, I just, randomly designed it, and it happened that it was for 7 different prints. And then when I picked the fabrics, because I had gotten a shipment where I had different prints, but each print had a lot of colors. I really liked this one, but it had 9 colors, and I was like, man, I should have, checked my fabric first, and I would have used all 9. But then, these darker ones, I was like, I'll just pull those out, and then we'll go with the 7. But when I just put this on the bed, it's wider than I thought, and it really could be longer. So now I'm so excited. I'm going to add, this is like a charcoal color and a darkish green. I'm going to add that to the top and bottom of the quilt. The kits will also include it, so you'll be getting 9, let me show you the kit, 9 1/4 yard cuts, including all the colors that I have right here. Now, if you don't want the darks in there, just use that for something else. If you happen to win this quilt top on eBay, because it will be on eBay starting at 1 penny with free shipping for USA, outside of the USA, you can bid and win, but you have to pay the shipping. Please check your shipping charges, the estimated shipping charges, before you bid, because it can be shocking. If you win it and you don't want those other two ends, just pick them out. I'm not going to do it for you, but you can certainly do that. You can do whatever you want with this fabric. If you win this quilt top, you can just cut it all up, deconstruct it, do whatever you want to do and use the fabric. I do not care. So let me add the top and bottom to this. I'm also going to have to change the printout now, but that's okay. It shouldn't take me too long to do that. And I'm going to do the grayish charcoal on the blue like that. And then I'm going to add the green to the orange on the bottom. And I think I'm gonna like that. Two dark, you know, strips, top and bottom, looks like a border that way. Let me add those and then I'll show it to you on the bed. I also wanted to show you, look at the adorable 2-inch squares that I cut last night. I used up the leftovers of the prints that I had already put into the quilt, but then I did add the other two colors because I wanted whoever is going to get this to be able to have all 9 colors. And then when I put it together, I was thinking last night, you know, it would have been nice to include those two. Whoa! Oh my God, that could have been tragic. And then by coincidence today, I decided to add 2 more rows. And I said, I'll just put those other 2 colors. Anyway, this will probably be part of my next fabric frenzy. Probably not a flash sale because I try to limit my flash sales so I can have a whole lot more during the frenzies. You're missing out on all this stuff by not becoming an exclusive shopper. Details down below. And I'm done. This came out longer than I thought, and it's hard for you to see the top and bottom rows because they kind of blend into the comforter, but I will be, you know, taking some close-up pictures. Mine ended up 43 across and 72 long, which is good for the top of a twin bed. I like it when a quilt is longer than wide, so you can, you know, bring it up at least to the pillow. It doesn't have to have a lot of overhang. That's just my liking. So I really like the way this came out. I also wanted to mention that if you wanted to keep this really easy, all you have to do is sew the strips together and just make a typical strip quilt. You don't have to do that little bit that I did. I did that because I just wanted something different, and I used, you know, the same color for those 2 pieces just so I didn't have to waste fabric. That worked good as that smaller section. If I would have known I was going to use all 9 prints, I might have tried to do something different, but you know, I didn't know, so this is what we've got. And again, if you get this quilt kit, you don't have to add the bottom or top rows if you don't want to, and like I said, you can just slap them all together. If you are getting the printout, I'm not going to change the whole printout because I forgot that I'd have to go back into that graphics program and add the rows. I'm just going to have it in the instructions that you could add a row on top of A and below whatever that other one was on the bottom, G, and you'll be able to figure it out. So I guess that's about all I need to tell you. I might try something different with the quilt kits. I don't know because at the time that I'm recording this, I haven't really looked into it. But PayPal has a new feature where I can create a link and sell directly on social. So if I can do that, and if it allows me to put, you know, some pictures or whatever, I don't know the process, I'll try that for the first time. So if you go down below and it takes you directly to PayPal and you see something different, that's because I'm trying it for the first time. But if it doesn't allow me to put a decent description and enough pictures, I will just end up putting it on eBay. So we don't know, but I'm anxious to see if I can learn something new. All right, you guys, I'm going to do some close-ups here, so stick around for the little slideshow. Please go check out all the links down below, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe too. Bye!